barons and other assorted members of the aristocracy, we have a Ionian League game coming up for you. This is Washed Up One Tricks versus the Dead Allegiance. Washed Up One Tricks is a returning team from last split. They've been playing together basically as long as I've been aware of this league exists. 2 leagues before this league, these guys played together. We have Tuba in the top lane, Mayor of Huevos in jungle, Gelati in mid, and their bot lane is Rixie on ADC and Bixby QT support. I am TTU Phoenix, and co-casting with me is Bronco.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Bronco. Pleasure to be here with TTU Phoenix tonight. And on the red side to start today, we have the Dead Allegiance with Sleepy Pineapple, Prefer Riven Top, Izanami, Prince Lightskin, and oh dear.
I think it's pronounced Big Bad Red.
Oh, that makes sense. Big Bad Red. I recognize Izanami from last season, a pretty good mid laner from last season, if I remember, up against the all-star top mid laner and top laner from the Ionian division, if I remember correctly, from last split. So should be a really good game. Seems like a pretty even matchup, and I believe we'll be getting into the pick bands quite soon.
I'm curious to see whether either team are willing to give the others their character. Because Tuba is known for his rumble, but Gelati is a longtime Karthus player. I know Big Bad Red has been a Zyra main in the past. And I feel like, particularly when you have players with this level of veterancy, they've got champs that are associated with them. And it's the question of, are you going to just ban the favorite champs, or are you going to ban based around some kind of strategy or comp, which might leave some of those power picks?
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if maybe the Dead Allegiance has prepared some sort of counterpick to the Rumble or something like that, because I know that's something that everybody tends to fear when up against Washed Up One Tricks. I know we did when we played them last season. Very similar to Uralawi actually from last season as well. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what goes on. Hopefully we get into draft sit and see what's going on.
So Sleepy Pineapple's got a Fiora, apparently.
Ooh, that's Fiora's an interesting champion, right? Because I feel like she's very, unless if she doesn't smash lane or isn't in a winning lane, she kind of just doesn't exist unless you just allow her to split push.
Yeah, and I've been playing Yorick lately, and he feels very much the same way, where if he doesn't get to sit in side lanes, if he's forced to fight, you really don't bring as much as most of the top lanes.
Yeah.
Fiora is very much
very single target, self-sustain, randomly just do damage when people don't damage you kind of deal.
Fiora feels very much like a statement saying, I'm going to style on you and I'm going to be dope.
Yeah, and I feel like, to me, if you don't get a solo kill early on with Fiora, or like you don't get an advantage early, the game starts to slip from your ability to carry the game.
And you need so much in the way of expensive items.
Yeah,
you need,
of course, with the Triforce, the Ravenous
Triforce, Ravenous Hydra, and then some other kind of probably sustain or defensive item. You're looking at
Cleaver or something, probably
7,000 to 8,000 gold before you're really online. And if you don't get in lane long enough to get that steady gold supply, then it's going to take you a lot of time, especially if they can force the tower early and deny Fiora that safe tower to farm under.
Anyways, quickly into pick ban, we got 3 bans coming out from both sides. Zyra Vel'Koz MF from the bans from Washed Up One Trick, so a lot of focus towards the bot lane there. And the Rumble Nocturne Yuumi, so of course that'll be Tuba's Rumble getting banned away. The Nocturne banned away from Mayor of Huevos, which is something I've seen him play before. And the Yuumi also banned away, which is one of Bixby Cutie's favorite champions. And then we have a very, very oppressive lane in Caitlyn Leona. Wants to play very aggressive. And I believe that'll be Karthus mid lane for Gelati, which, from my knowledge, is one of his favorite champions. We got Xayah Soraka. Now, Soraka's in a really weird position right now, right? There's 2 ways you can play this lane, at least from what I know, like from playing support. you can either let the Leona dive on top of you and preemptively cast your E on top so she can't get the Q stun off, or you just disallow her from getting on you to start with and just silence her before she even starts to dive onto you. The Ornn pick early is very interesting to me because I feel like this can allow some sort of more damaging top laner or skirmisher's top laner into the Ornn, which Ornn fares a little bit worse against because Ornn is a fairly safe pick, I would think.
I'd expect to see the Darius here.
Yeah,
It's one of Tuba's go-to champions when he doesn't have Rumble. Darius is good into essentially all tanks. Ornn's better than most into him,
yeah,
but it's
very
still Darius
dominant,
favored.
very
Yeah.
dominant lane. And the Zoe band, which I'm assuming is a counterpick to Karthus in some respect. Like in Zoe and Nico, Nico makes a lot of sense as a band to me against into the Karthus. As a Zoe band, not quite sure. Maybe it's something Izanami plays a whole bunch that I'm just not quite aware of. But it, I don't know mid lane well enough to make a proper comment. I don't on that. I don't think.
I'm really curious to see where Dead Allegiance goes with the jungle here, because okay, they're going Xin Zhao, so that
Oh, that tilts me so much. Xin Zhao is such a weird champion to me. He's so strong. Like if you play against a good Xin Zhao, he's so strong, but the moment he falls behind, he becomes irrelevant, and his only job is to ult away people who are trying to dive.
see,
And
I'm noticing something here with Dead Allegiance, and at first I thought that the Karthus pick. Okay, I've seen Tuba play Mord, and Mord is a solid match.
Mort is good into Ornn. Generally speaking, should win the matchup, but as demonstrated in the debut game of the season, Ornn can win that lane and get a solo kill.
He definitely. But I thought that they had potentially made a mistake by leaving Karthus up, or had been forced to leave it up. But I'm now wondering if that was the plan, because with Soraka ult countering Karthus ult, Xin Zhao can ult in order to prevent Karthus from ulting him with long
This is quite
run
true.
spot.
Ornn won't take any damage from it because of the Infernal Mask. It's really only the Xayah you need to be worried about at this point from that Karthus ulti going into the late game. But a very balanced team comp from Washed Up One Tricks to round out with the Rek'Sai. And there's a Fiora. Is this
So
Ornn's... Wait, is it Fiora mid lane? Or Ornn mid lane?
see, I think it has to be either or. I wonder if it's Xin Zhao mid.
I
Xin Zhao mid to punish an immobile mage, and
I
Ornn jungle, if he takes Hunter's Potion, basically never has to back, because
I
he'll just build items.
I would be stunned, absolutely just stunned, if that was the case. Like, kudos to them if that's the case, if they came up with this in preparation.
And Fiora can riposte the Karthus ult, so you essentially have three characters who can either protect themselves or
So
deny Karthus the ability to ult.
maybe this is for what it looks like. This was a very well planned draft from the Dead Allegiance and can be something very, very potent in these games. I feel like if this draft is so good from them, I think they could genuinely put up a really, really good chance against, I believe it was the third, fourth place team from last split.
My team defeated them in the
Yeah,
semifinals. I don't think there was a third, fourth.
yeah, I don't think there was. That's why it's like third,
More of
fourth.
a dog person.
They
But
didn't run Garen Yumi, which they played against us.
they ran Garen Yumi last year.
Yeah, they ran Garen Yumi, Mord. I don't remember what
Uh,
they only ran it once though, and this was the period where like everybody was playing it in LEC, and they dropped it out.
yeah,
Okay, so it is Ninja Jungle, so I guess
it's
Ornn
Ornn
mid,
mid, which I'm
unless
not.
it's Soraka mid and Ornn support.
I I would think the Ornn goes mid lane.
All right, Izanami, show us what you got.
Oh, this is the interesting part. This is where the entire draft hinges. It's Ornn mid.
It's mid.
Okay, that's I like that a lot. I like it. I like it a lot.
Not a problem.
Now,
I'd say I think the early game is definitely
They cannot handle Nico.
favoring. I'd say it's favoring Washington because Fiora is regarded as a counterpick to Mord, but there's still a lot of things Mord can do in the game.
Yeah.
Caitlyn Leona is like there are ways for Soraka to play it, but she's basically got to be her because if she gets caught one EQ into Kate traps, she's
Here's my whole thing. I see level 2 gank mid lane and just it's a kill.
from Xin Zhao, certainly. Rek'Sai
Yeah.
is not as good of a level 2
Yeah.
gamer.
I see Xin Zhao. I see Ornn hitting level 2 QE, Xin Zhao EQ, and just either getting a summoner from Gelati or getting a kill if he doesn't feel like flashing for some reason.
True.
Also, to make note, it is exhaust from the Karthus in the mid lane, which I believe would be for the Fiora, or if the Xin Zhao trying to gank him earlier on in the game and just absolutely decimating his damage. And Soraka running the barrier, which isn't atypical on Soraka, but I feel as though in this matchup you might want to take the exhaust. Everybody says exhaust is not the ideal summoner spell at this point, but I completely disagree. Exhaust is, in my opinion, it's not as strong as Ignite in most scenarios, but with a team comp like Mordekaiser and Rek'Sai, and it can really shut down Caitlyn in a 2v2 trade where Xayah is so strong.
It does, but you're also going to have to then walk into range of Caitlyn to use it. And your alternative would be exhausting Leona, which probably isn't what you do.
Yeah.
And so it does feel very. I almost would have liked to see. I know people don't do this anymore, but barrier on the Xayah and heal on the Rock.
Yeah.
Because then it'll be amped by her heal and shield power.
I understand why people run barrier on Soraka. Like, as a support, I understand it, but it just angers me in a way, or I don't think it's right, because essentially that barrier erases that ignite, right? But if
she's the one who gets ignited,
yeah, that's if she's the one that gets ignited. That's the whole thing, right? And in these trades, if you go into the Soraka, you're just gonna burst her down. But if you go into the Xayah, right, that means that barrier means nothing, right? So you're effectively only have one trade.
Yeah, you offer Xayah nothing. I do like that Dead Allegiance has chosen all of whom have Ornn items that fit very naturally into their build paths. Triforce for Xin Zhao and Fiora, Infinity Edge for Xayah, maybe Blade of the Rune King, but probably Infinity Edge, and then
as well.
Soraka. It's always awkward when you have characters who don't itemize well into those Ornn items on your team, because you're like, either you do something weird with your build path or I'm not giving it.
Yeah. So I'm just, does Xin Zhao generally go Triforce?
In jungle, he'd go at second if he's ahead. It leaves you pretty squishy. Sometimes he might go Sterox in second and then Triforce.
I haven't played Xin Zhao in a long time. I just played him in Earth yesterday and kind of just
I've never played him.
Built full lifesteal and killed everyone. I doubt I would play. I know that's the correct way to play Xin Zhao. I do know that you just kill everything to Xin Zhao early, though. He's a very good dueler.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Lee.
Like, I think he's like on par with like the Lees and the Olafs and Warwicks of the world. But Rek'Sai is an interesting duel early on, right? Because the knockup, of course, right? But
she's got a lot of front loading. Like, she's really great at finding the jungler low and killing them.
Yeah.
But she's kind of like Vi. She tends to unload her full combo and then be like, well, you didn't die, so I guess I just gotta walk away now.
Yeah. But,
I don't know who I'd prefer in a late game 5v5 here. Both teams have solid engage.
My pick
is gonna fall off, but Karthus and Kate are gonna be good in the late game.
My pick would be the washed up one tricks, just because Fiora's presence in a team fight.
True, in a team fight, yeah.
It just isn't as strong as Mordekaiser's, right? Rek'Sai, if the Flash W, just getting the full Halo blades with not the Prey Seeker, Queen's Wrath.
Yeah.
Just deleting Prince Lightskin is an absolute option. And looking at keystones here, nothing really out of the ordinary.
I think the unsealed spellbook from Orange, you don't see it as much in top, but
Yeah,
in mid. When does the first?
fantastic.
When do you get your first
6
shift?
minutes. 6 minutes.
Okay, so he couldn't really do. I was wondering if he could switch to Ignite for that level 2 gank, but he won't have.
No, he won't.
Nah, the Jets Rex Rex.
Possible stack from both sides here. What time frame are you at?
I'm at 30 seconds, 31.
Okay, I'm just 1 second ahead.
Yeah, let me move up. There we go. Okay. Oh, they grab Orange.
Look at the orange.
Takes the E to get away.
Ooh, gets the E. Takes the E to get away. I do believe that he could have still leveled up his Q and gotten away with it because it would have slowed all 5 members. And I don't know what I think.
Leona took Q. She probably would have flashed.
Flash Q. And
And
honestly, I feel like that's worth because that means the lane is a little bit more passive for the bot lane. Not necessarily worth because it's first blood. It depends on who the first blood goes to.
that said, let's see. I don't know if it matters as much for Ornn, though he might be able to be. Carlos might be able to zone him off farms. What would have probably taken Q to do farm with range, but Mord having E is not going to be very useful at level 1 against Fiora because it's a 24-second cooldown. It doesn't have near the damage Q does. Actually, does the exact amount of damage to Q, but you won't get the damage in the target. The Rek'Sai starts red. Both junglers start their red. Looking at starting items, we have V-Shield out of the Ornn. See, I would have preferred... I prefer Corrupting Potion, because if you really need V-Shield on Ornn, you can build it yourself in lane, but you can't build Corrupting Potion.
I would always go Corrupting Potion. I think Corrupting Potion is... I think it's the strongest starting item in the game. Maybe D-Blade is a little better, but...
I only take D-Blade when I'm a character that doesn't have...
Yeah.
For some mages, the D-Ring is really valuable.
D-Ring, of course, but... Some very fortunate passive procs from Sleepy Pineapple to start this game. Generally towards the forward edge of the map. Makes him a little easier to proc him.
And that's the annoying thing about Fiora. It started with ult for a battle, continued under Conquer that. Because her Q cooldown is lower than the stack duration, she can maintain almost permanent time. That was
Volcanic Rush disappears. Getting some isolated damage. Ooh.
A lot of isolated damage.
Good trade from Gelati. Trade
coming top.
Flash away from Sleepy Pineapple.
Ooh,
carried away, but the Furious Bite will get the kill. And here comes a Zinzao, level 3 gank.
Leona's already used her root.
Leona only used her root, but the 3 talent strike doesn't get the knockdown. And
not really sure about that flash, isn't Ami?
yeah.
So we have successful first blood in top, and Fiora burns her teleport to get back. I'd say that's still a good gank in bot lane. You burned all 4 of their summoners for the cost of only Zinzhao's flash.
Yeah, it's a very good gank, but...
And not having Flash Ignite on the Leona really lowers
Here comes Mayor of Huevos closing in on the Ornn. I don't think he...
But they back up.
They back off. Volcanic Rupture, good enough. Sleepy Pineapple moving forward, getting some crits. Top lane skirmish might go to favor.
Got the movement speed, but Fiora should be able to run him down.
Zinzao back in the bot lane, gets a kill. Prince Lightskin gets the kill. Doesn't get the drag through back. The Blade Caller doesn't get to come through the Leona. And Izanami also lives through the mid lane gank. Lots of action happening early. But
Chuka did not die in top lane, and he didn't have to burn his flash. He was able to walk out.
He walked out, but burns his TP back, so TP's about a minute off sync currently.
Fiora's out of potions. She's back. Does she have enough? She does not have enough for, not even close. She's only gonna really get boots here.
Yeah.
Rejuvenation bead.
There's already 300 gold behind.
There's the refillable, that's what I want to say. if you use at least 4 refillable charges, it pays for itself.
Ornn building an item to sustain himself, possibly. Ruby Crystal's the first buy-in lane.
Probably for the Abyssal Mask.
First Dragon's Mountain, not a pretty good dragon overall to get a solo. The bonus 8 magic resist and armor, or 8%, sorry, is always useful on everyone.
I'd say this mid lane is really tilting in favor of Gelati. He's able to bully the Ornn. He wasn't really punished early. He got that kill. Working on, I'm gonna assume that's Rod of Ages.
Yeah, it'd be a Rod of Ages most likely.
So he may not be going for a tier item. I feel like he would have started with that.
I feel like with Catalyst of Aeons provides a possibility to work into a tier because then you'll really never run out of mana.
That's true.
He could go tier on his next bag because Catalyst is a very good item by itself. Ornn should be picking it up fairly early.
I could see him get a Spectre's Cow. Alright.
Down. No.
Cut out Ninjao.
And that'll be a dragon for the side of Washed Up One Tricks. Exhaust used from Gelati to do that. Oh, Riposte does nothing in the top lane. Just lunges away though. But this will be first dragon at 6 minutes 20. Very, very good drag. Possible quite early elder today. Second drag Infernal. Always quite strong, which means the next one will be Cloud. Or the Soul Dragon will be Cloud or Ocean.
Let's see, where's that on? 244, 239. So despite, I thought Soraka would be farther behind because of the threat from Leona, but she's really not. She's only 5 gold down.
Yeah, she's only 5 gold down. I haven't checked on Soraka. Soraka's a very versatile champion. She is going Q max, which is one of the more. It's not. Oh, Realm of Death in the top lane.
He needs to get up against the wall.
Ultimate.
He gets the wall.
Tuba gets the kill in the Realm of Death, gets that bonus damage with the help of Gelati's Requiem to try to take some damage, and Prefer Riven Top has already fallen a level behind Mayor of Huevos.
That's the problem with Google right now, is that when you get behind, you stay behind because there's no catch-up.
There's no longer catch-up experience. Favorable trade for Gelati in the mid lane. Exhaust, but 50% of its cooldown back up.
That's the problem versus the Karthus, that if you burn your combo, then you don't have anything left for damage. He's just gonna hit the Defile and the late face.
Izanami currently no flash. He has the Ignite from the spellbook. Mayor of Huevos possibly looking for a gank down bot side, maybe gonna land the Brace Seeker and try to get a full combo going.
Zinja's looking mid, which I think is a good idea. Ornn's ult's available. He might need to invest his in flash, which just came up. As long as they get the knock up. Benevolent's going for the top scuttle.
Intelligent purchase from Tuba, getting that early Bramble Vest, which is going to be effective against essentially the 3 main damage carries threats from this team.
It's pretty much a must-have versus Fiora because she's squishy enough that you don't
trade it in mid lane. Oh, flash away from Gelati, but
he goes out of the not the Ignite action, the Zinjao.
Yeah.
So 1-for-1 trade. Let's see.
But it's definitely more worth for the side of the Dead Allegiance because that's the shutdown from the Karthus.
And they invest less in resources. They invest Ornn's Ignite, which he got from Spellbook, his ult, and 1 flash. But they invest 2 sums out of Gelati, and not as Ignite, not as Exhaust, just flash, and then the Reptile and the Crust.
It's our early Rod of Ages, so that's going to be stocking up pretty early. You'll have that completed in, I believe, 20 minutes. I believe it's stack a minute.
Yes, 1 stack a minute.
So
Mord looks like he's going for, I'd assume, relay. Oop.
Trade, flash forward, and
That should be an easy pick. Yep.
On the Mayor of Huevos getting caught out there. Flash forward. Leona ulti used as well. Trade in the mid lane.
Zinjao wasn't moving, so the Tremor Sense didn't go off and didn't give him any that push recorded.
That is very good game knowledge from Airboy or for Riven Top. It's just a general thing against Rek'Sai. If you know where Rek'Sai is and you just don't move, the Rek'Sai is just gonna die because Rek'Sai doesn't have vision. Right? She's relying on good warding from her teammates when she's burrowed. And when that's the case, it's fairly hard for Rek'Sai players to do anything positive.
Zaya just picked up her Essence Reaver, but Kate still is about 1,300 gold current to the edge.
She's an entire...
Yeah.
Oh, just absolutely just win in the mid lane from Gelati. Trying to land the last Q, just can't yet.
I know it's not going to do enough damage.
So much damage. They're taking so much damage despite the Catalyst and Megatron cloaked by.
However, very clever play from the Orin. He picks up Barrier with his Unsealed Spellbook.
There goes Airwave. Let's flash forward.
Barrier's not. Yep, not going to be
the Crescent Guard from Zinzao with a 3 talent strike knockup, but the Unburrow comes back up and Airwave goes for double kill in the mid lane.
And that's the power of Rek'Sai early. She does fall off late, but she's a very strong early jungler, and when you've got the early warrior for the attack damage, the 3 auto combo into the true damage by a lot of burst.
But out of the 2 junglers, guess who falls off even harder? Zinzao.
See, I don't know. I'd rather have a Xin Zhao late.
I would rather have Rek'Sai personally, just because of the sheer assassination potential from her. I want definitely top lane. Sleepy Pineapple. He's down a level here. He's gonna drop his ultimate, but just gets decimated or obliterated. Sorry.
The Bramble Vest paid off there.
Bramble Vest.
Pineapple got a few problems. It wasn't.
The Orange offset the one for both members of the bot lane. Flash away from Leanne.
Good disengage from Watch Up One Trick.
The solar flare away. Oh! Huevos gets right through.
Knocked up, but still over the wall.
Tunnel just in time.
I think this is showing the team play strength of Watch Up One Trick. They're taking matchups where, even if they're favored, there are ways that these can go very badly. If Sin had gotten the early ganks off, if Diora had gotten ahead of Mordekaiser, and they just work together really well,
and now
cover each other really well.
What the dead of TDA is going to have to rely on is this Zaya putting in the work. Prince Lightskin has got both kills, has the most farm, will surely have most damage, and needs to just be funneled and protected at all costs. And that Soraka will do a very good job of doing that. But this top lane matchup is going so poorly now for Sleepy Pineapple. He's just going to get perma-pushed under turret, I feel like. We'll never really get a chance to properly split push because Tulu should always really be there. And at this point of the game, I don't think he really still wants to be one to Sleepy Pineapple.
I also would have preferred, instead of going the Vampiric Scepter, to start under Phage item.
Yeah.
Because the utility from the CDR, even the smaller amount of health that Triforce gives you, movement speed, all of that is going to give you...
Oh, onto the Zinzao. Crescent Guard also used. Rek'Sai hits the Prey Seeker and the Challenging Smite runs away. Nothing too big happens there.
But that's really Xin Zhao's only... Like, he's built Warrior, he's working on with probably Merc Crit, he doesn't have any health. Like, he's entirely dependent on the Crescent Guard for the ability to frontline. And so he can't frontline for his team until that comes back up.
Izanami goes in, but the Defile's just going to do absolute work when he doesn't have this.
At 150 damage each.
Oh, the auto's coming through. That's a solo kill from Gelati onto Izanami. This Orin pick not working out to the best of the ability, neither was this Fiora.
He tried to put on his dancing shoes, but Gelati was leading the dance.
Here's the real thing about it. Oh,
that was not...
Riven Top maybe gets a trade kill, does get the
He does? That was 450 shutdown.
450 shutdown. Still say hashtag worth in chat, but when you get that ulti off, he got gold regardless. The Rift Herald is going down, got a charge onto the second tier mid lane turret. Arthas lands 2 late waste on Soraka. Gelati flashing forward, barrier used.
Gonna wait out the barrier and potentially ult.
He swapped between 2 turrets.
Is he gonna get interrupted?
Or
no!
Gelati gets the full combo off, gets the 2.5 second shut off. The exhaust goes down from the Orange. And it looks like Tuba is just killing people in the top lane as well. And Zanami gets the shutdown on the card that's in between turrets, but
But it took way too long, and so many minions went into the tower that there's a 40 CS lead in that mid lane, 20 CS. All of the lane for Wash Up One Trick from the creep score.
Oh,
Except for Rek'Sai, who's just farming.
Iron Man passive prop pressing guard used. Tuba won't be able to flash forward.
Oh, and the flash goes off.
And the mastery. The disrespect from Tuba.
That's the worst feeling when your flash goes off after you die. You're just like,
that's a 600 gold shutdown on the top lane, and everyone knows how annoying Mordekaiser is at this point in the game. 4-0, sorry. No deaths. Has the Rylai's. Has the Bramble Vest. No one, and I mean no one, will be able to kill this unless they 5-man him. And at this point,
and then he's gonna 1v1 someone.
He probably 1v5s. He probably just 1v5s.
Best bet is probably if like he ults Xin Zhao and Xin Zhao stalls it out without dying. He's working on what I would guess is Spirit Visage. He's getting some tankiness.
Wall of Pain, moves also coming out. Flash Burn from Mizunami. He does have a reduced cooldown on that from Spellbook being Spellbook, but just dropping Flash on cooldown seemingly doesn't seem to be working. 3 talent strike goes on with Mizun's out onto the left side.
That was a wreck.
Killing Smite used, so that
Orange ult just comes up. He's
yeah.
probably not in a position to follow.
Fiora sitting in the mid lane brush can come in here to mention something we didn't mention before. It's the Ocean Dragon Prayseeker lands out of the Ornn. They're going to clear some vision. Caitlyn trap goes down.
Dragon's coming up, and the issue is that Zin's got the rocket healing. He's still a little under health.
And
neither jungler has flash, so there's not really a good way in.
Heal is going to be hard.
All the initiation goes down.
It's actually a really good fight so far inside of the Dead Allegiant.
Sure.
Look at your way. Zai gets a double kill. The Caitlyn is going off in the backline, gets rid of the tanks, or the relative tanks, to speak. And the
Moore's just pushing top lane.
More
but that should mean this.
Get it one. It's post. Fiora. Challenge. The duel goes down. Misses auto.
One more pass. There it is.
Passive. And just be able to auto down this Leona. Gets stunned under turret, but the lifesteal is insane.
Oh no, the jukes!
The jukes!
Oh!
Oh my god.
Okay, the card assault.
Card assault. He's gonna
get Tuba. Rocket barrier.
Tuba's just gonna walk up. Oh, misses the auto.
Oh no, Tuba!
Just 2 autos.
Oh.
Tried everything.
I wanted to believe there.
I'm really glad Red. But wow, that team fight looks so promising, and then just Gelati walked up and just kind of just defiled the Xayah and got to ulti for free. He's taken blue buffs, has double buffs, has the Morelos going for him, has the sword boots. How much AP does he have right now? Let's check that really quick. 215 at 18 minutes.
The interesting thing, looking at Ward's build. Oh, we got a dead now. Yeah. Is that Moore's building into dead and not the Landry is a huge damage spike from Moore, but he's like, I'm 5-0, I'm already doing enough damage.
I just don't think he needs it, I'm gonna be honest.
No. And Deadman has great synergy with Ornn.
Oh no.
Can't cleanse it, it's a suppression.
You can keep assessing, but you cannot cleanse it. Oh, the Caitlyn ulti still hits. Oh, the forge bar goes down, but the Xayah just gets walked off.
Enough healing? No, not enough healing.
It's a double kill for Rixie. And it's a solo kill from Mayor Vuevos on the Fiora. That feels bad when you lose a duel as a Fiora into the Rek'Sai, even if the Rek'Sai is super far ahead and you are behind.
I think she looked like she'd done the Rek'Sai, but just didn't have the damage to kill Rek in the 2-second stun duration, and then Rek just comboed, and her ult was the finisher, and she didn't have the riposte for it.
Yeah. Well,
but Deadman has particular synergy from Ward because the Deadman's proc counts as an ability, and so auto Q with Deadman's fully charged will instantly activate Ward's path.
Ooh, very good. Well, that'll be going the 6th turret of the game going down from the side of Washed Up.
This is a 12,000 gold lead. This
12k gold lead. This is seemingly insurmountable.
they basically need.
A
I
team-
think you're right that Prince Lightskin is the way forward for TDA to win. And they basically need
we need
Watch Up One Tricks to walk into a Zaya hole and then get by a hole.
walk up, exhaust, gonna land some Qs, flashes forward.
Do you have ult?
See, I don't.
Zaya does have ult.
Zaya does have
Oh, I think Gelati bit off more than he could chew.
body. Maybe the Soraka dies. Very early dodge to stop it from killing her. The Wall of Pain goes down. The Death Crash grabs both the Orange and the Zinzao. And, well, they're going to pick another one up. Tua is 6-0 now. Does have the precursor to Leandre's called Forth. Gets burst down super.
I don't think. Yeah, he doesn't. They're not gonna have the follow.
Everybody just walking forward. Tuba just so huge. Ace in the hole goes down onto the Zaya. Zaya lives though. And this is now almost 13k.
Yeah, there's just the champions that need to be in the front line that need to be going in are too far behind.
All have 7 deaths.
Yes, and so Fiora doesn't do the damage to 1v1 people. Xin Zhao's not tanky enough and doesn't do the damage, and Oran's not tanky enough.
Yeah.
So I think this is probably where Dead Allegiance needs to be thinking about, okay, what do we do different next time?
Yeah.
And I think,
Ornn hasn't even hit the point in the game where he can upgrade his own item.
yeah, and he's only got the one upgrade. I like the spirit of the Ornn mid. He got the spirit.
Concept
But,
good, execution poor.
Yeah, especially when I think I'd be more okay with it if it was something that's more of a true hyper carry in the top lane.
Yeah.
Because then you can afford to lose and you've got, your Kale or I don't know, Kennen or something that like really scales well.
Dragon
But
Cup.
Fiora, there's so much that needs to go right for her, particularly in a bad matchup.
Good play out from Prince
That's
Oh,
a lot of damage, not enough.
that's a solo kill. A little too bit over aggressive from Mayor Huevos. And the Ocean Dragon's coming up in 20 seconds. That'll be so cool if the side of Washed Up One Tricks can grab that.
But Rek'Sai's up in 30 seconds. Rek'Sai can use Tunnel to get there quicker. Like, they have basically 10 seconds from when Vaughns actually.
And it doesn't look like they're going to contest it. They're going to see the Ocean Dragon. And I think you try to go steal that. The game's already in the rough spot anyways.
Yeah, you take the Hail Mary.
You take the Hail Mary, because if you let that go to another Kaiser, I don't think he dies. I think he ends this game perfect. The fight was attempted. Call the Forge Bot Dash. You good and
Xin Zhao's in the back line. He's doing a lot of good damage.
fine, but the Zaya is dead. The main damage source is dead. Riven's pushing up in the top lane for some reason. She's not at this team fight. This Hail Mary team fight. She's not there and present for it. The unstoppable. The flash away. Ace in the hole. Doesn't end up picking up
and an early riposte. This should be a
post.
solo kill from Arab Huevos.
And that's another solo kill. This Fiora loses another 1v1 to the Rek'Sai. The super minions are pushing into the mid lane. The soul goes over. And this game could... I don't think it ends right here, but it'll end fairly soon. I would say next two.
Mort and Leona can probably tank. They're gonna need the next wave.
They need the next wave.
Okay, looks like they're falling back.
The respawns are in. They won't take it on this push. Oh! Charge from the Ornn comes forward.
Yeah, but with that healing, he's just not taking any damage.
Walker becoming a huge... And that... And, oh, wish
Grab on Xin.
Zen is
He's gonna make a valiant effort, but...
goes for the Spear of the shot. Second item. That's when you know you're in the roughs as a Zen Zao player. The Orbital Snap Trap's gonna get placed around the base.
They're
Red-
gonna
on a
play it
second-
safe, be completionist, go for the bottom mid.
That's the right thing to do. Just get their fundamentals. Give the minimal a possibility of some sort of inting play to come through. Orange charge coming through.
Oh, Rocket gets grabbed.
Through.
And without her to keep the,
Exactly.
front line up.
So far, but can't do
Jordan
anything.
does pick off Caitlyn on the back.
It's true. Just the shutdown. trying to go forward. Oh, the Xin Zhao is back up and alive. The Zai is gonna try to do damage with Mortar goes
He's
into
gonna
the
stall Mord as best he can, but he is gonna go down.
that gives him the stack.
Fiora doesn't have the help.
Oh, and there comes the Death Grasp. The stun doesn't come through. The Blade Surge, not Blade Surge, sorry. Blade Collar doesn't come through. Tuba's walking through turrets with the double buff, with the Ocean Sword. I don't think the Zai can get through her.
No, she's not gonna have
Especially with that Bramble Vest. The Stair Gauge comes in for the Rek'Sai. This game is over.
This will be a
25-minute win, 33-13, 14,000k damage.
Oh, wait.
Maybe they try to kill him. But I don't think. I think this is a KDA because. Oh, the inhibitor respawns. Oh wait, they took 2. Never mind. Oh, Gelati.
Yeah, they don't
can't auto from that point though.
Mord's back. Alright, they're gonna allow them a chance to try to PB either way out of it, but with 3 inches down.
If they're gonna do that, they should at least go for Baron and then just sit there and just let the minions end it. That's the case.
Yeah.
Solid fundamentals. Make sure
Mord's got his Thornmail. He doesn't really. Another thing I see about this is Mord probably doesn't even need to go Spirit Visage unless he wants the cooldown reduction.
Yeah.
Because the only magic damage that's coming out of Ornn is 3 and 8.
Ooh.
And so.
And he goes second item. So
yeah.
that's.
I would have liked. I think what I would have liked to see is like a Cannon, or weirdly a Rumble, or a Kale, or something that is a strong magic damage dealer out of the top.
Yeah. Just some form of AP in any form.
Yeah, when you're gonna play, I mean, Fiora's not a conventional top laner, but when you're gonna play something like Ornn, you kind of are really relying on it paying off.
Coming through lens on it too. The
Rex taking a fair amount of damage, but Xin Zhao's taking even more, and he goes down to Caitlyn.
Does basically nothing. Everybody's just dying to this Ornn, not the Ornn passive. Ace Noel comes through, that's a double kill for the Caitlyn. The inhibitor goes down. There's only 2 members left surrounding. That's the Soraka. That's the Zion. She's gonna try to wait for it. That's gonna be no win void. There's a 27-minute win for Washed Up Wintrix. That's game 1.
So I think we agree for next game, you don't go with the tank mid. And see, I don't hate the Fiora per se, and it is one of Sleeping Pineapple's more played. But when you look at Tuba's champion pool, it's Rumble, which you're not going to give him. But then it's Mordekaiser, Darius, Renekton.
Would you rather play Fiora into Rumble than you would Mordekaiser?
See, I'm bad at Fiora. I wouldn't want to play Fiora into anyone. Yeah. But I think that
scenario, let's say you're the Shy. Do you play Fiora into Rumble or Mordekaiser?
If I'm the Shy, I play it into Mord because I'm going to be good enough to win the matchup. But I think I'd rather play it into the Rumble. The downside then is you're really conceding because the Rumble's going to do way more fights than you are. And I think the problem is you're like, which of Tuba's champions are you going to get a good matchup? I don't know Rumble versus Fiora, but I suspect that Rumble at least is competitive. And all of the other champions are ones where it's going to be Tuba favorite.
I say you try to force him onto the Darius, because to me, Darius is one of the most manageable top laners from ahead, because everybody knows Darius tends to start 2-0 and then just walk everywhere and kill everything, right? Like, I know as a support player, like, whenever I'm playing squishies, I walk top lane, I randomly just get hooked by a Darius, and I'm dead, and I'm like, what is going on? And I see he's already 5-0. It's one of the worst feelings in the world.
It is, but the thing with Darius is every Darius player has a finite amount of patience.
And then
it varies from player to player, but eventually, if you don't fight him, he'll cue the wave and push it in because he'll get bored.
Yes. And then eventually he will just flash.
Yeah. It looks like we're going to take a few-minute break in between the matches, give the teams a chance to stretch their legs. So we are going to go to a break as well. We'll be back in a few minutes with round 2 between Dead Allegiance and Washed Up Wintrix. I think that Dead Allegiance has some strong points. Their bot lane a really solid early game. Zaya was really looking like she was in position to carry for a while.
Yeah.
But I think there's some things they're going to need to tweak going into game 2 if they want to turn this series around.
The Molten Edge even came in.
What's that?
The Molten Edge even came in.
It did, yeah. That would have been the first thing I'd done if I was Orange.
So, yeah.
All right.
So guys,
Gonna
back
go to a break. We will see you beautiful people in a few minutes. Welcome back, casual EAL fans. We are setting up for round 2 of Washed Up One Tricks versus the Dead Allegiance. Washed Up One Tricks won in game 1, and in our traditional format, the team switched sides, which means that Dead Allegiance blue side and Washed Up One Tricks round. I'm TTU Phoenix. My co-caster is L9 Bronco.
We're back. We're running it. First ban already coming through. It's the Rumble. It's Two Blue Rumble. The
They're not gonna risk.
The second most feared pick in the league, right after TTU Phoenix's Alawi.
Did they ban the Zyra in the first game?
They did.
Okay, they did. So both teams are running back.
I feel like it'll be very similar bans. The Yumi ban as well. Wait, did they ban the Yumi last game?
They did ban the because Bixby QT plays.
Yeah, they swap sides. The same ban so far as game 1.
Misfortune. I think they did ban that as well.
They did.
Yeah, well, watch up One Tricks. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They have no reason.
There's the Karthus ban instead. They thought they had.
I think that's a good pick here. They
left Vel'Koz open. Oh, but
watch up One Trick bans Vel'Koz. They banned Nocturne.
Yeah, they banned Nocturne last time. And there's the Ornn again. Now maybe this goes top lane and it'll succeed a little bit better. Maybe it goes mid again and we see a little bit better execution. But there's the Caitlyn picked up instantly again.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick the Leon.
There it is. A very strong lane. Gonna go back to it. Caitlyn is probably the strongest laning AD at the current moment. Hit her or Lucian.
What about a Pupilos?
No. Lane AD, it's definitely Caitlyn or Lucian. But Leona probably strongest or second strongest support right now with Nautilus. And there's the Veigar. See the Veigar.
Is that a Veigar support?
I would surely hope not.
The cage is good against Leona, but it's one of those you really gotta play just right.
I very hope that this is Glacial Veigar that goes into decap third and just farms. For all the is this the Aphelios pick? Oh no, it goes to Xayah.
He slices, he dices, he's got 5 weapons. He was gonna change stats based on the phase of the moon.
Yeah, like Xayah is Lucian.
Okay. They're allowed
it's first week, boys. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean if they know it's Lucian, that's no problem. Yeah, Xayah is Lucian. Alright. And they roll back the Mord.
Oh god.
I was wondering if Dead Allegiance should try to pick it themselves, but I don't know if they have anyone who would play Mord.
Mordekaiser is a very strong champion when you don't know how to play against it.
Or when you're a champion that can't really easily disengage
or a champion that just can't do them, which is a lot of champions.
Yeah.
Personally,
I feel like in top lanes I noticed there are some who have the Juggernaut spirit, some who don't. Tuba's got the spirit.
Yeah. To me, the first pick that comes to mind that I think could have a chance at beating Mord early and setting him behind is something like a Jace, which of course is a very particular skill set to play Jace. But who knows?
Aatrox can be a 50-50 against Mord. It's pretty snowbally in either direction. So I don't know if Dead Allegiance top lane plays Aatrox or if they want to risk it. But if you can win before Mord gets some levels, starts getting his cooldowns lower, then you're just gonna stomp all over them.
And for the second phase of bans, same bans from Wash Up One Tricks, the Zoe and the Nico, Zilli and Orianna the bans from the Dead Allegiance, changing up a little bit, and the Corki comes through.
Gelati's Corki is really good. It almost won 2 rounds, pretty much on the strength of that pick alone. Won 2 rounds last season. It's really
I despise Corki. Like, I see so many things where, like, when that character is strong, he is strong.
Like, all right, they picked Vi. I think I might have liked the Amumu as well, but that would have given them a lot of magic. I do like this draft from Dead Allegiance more.
I think it's better.
Unless it's another Fiora pick.
That is. So we have Igar and Xerath.
I think Xerath's probably the
I would think the Xerath is the support. And if that's the case, Mordekaiser loses no 1v1s.
That's true, but well, Veigar could cage him and just walk out.
Yeah, Viagra could cage him and walk away, but he never. He never.
He won't lose.
He,
Yeah,
he won't. Is that more? Is that Malphite jungle? That is
it's got to be
May.
Malphite.
It's Mayor of Huevos. He plays Malphite jungle. Oh dear.
Ornn should be building a lot of magic. I do like this draft from Dead Legion more. It's much less finicky and less execution dependent. You don't have the Fiora who needs to really get ahead and be able to have the map pressure to split push. You don't have the Xin Zhao who's very snowball dependent. You don't have the Ornn mid. You've got what I'm assuming is a tank top, a straightforward lockdown bruiser jungler, a hyperscaling mid, scaling ADC, and a poke support. And so they're not going to have to try to arrange all these moving parts to make it work the way that they did last time. They can kind of just play their champion, and the overall combo works well. If it goes long enough, then they're going to have really good scale. Both teams scale very well, but I think that they are Dead Legion's just going to be very comfortable taking. Yeah, it's the Ornn.
Yeah.
Which is a decent pick in Mord. You can block Mord ult with Ornn's W.
Yeah, you can. But Mordekaiser can also stop Ornn ult with his ult.
Yes.
Which
it's really a matchup. Assuming the Ornn doesn't fall behind, it's a matchup of whoever ults first loses.
Yes, this is very, or whoever, if in Ornn's case, the farther you ult the farther you are from the enemy team when you're ulting, the better.
Yeah.
Or
you want something really funny? Play Poppy into Ornn sometime, because once he calls his ult, you just ult him away and he never gets to use his ult.
That's tough.
Or you can use the W to block the headbutt to redirect the ult. Alright.
That is really tough.
So yeah, so Izanami's on the Veigar, it is going to be a Veigar mid, so it'll be a Xerath. Second round ban.
If this is full AP Malphite jungle, I might die. Like that's...
I assume it is. You don't really play Malphite jungle, play him tank.
They cannot handle Nico.
I am a big opposer to full AP Malphite.
The god is angry.
It makes me the big sad sometimes.
Xayah? Oh no, it wasn't that. They picked Lucian.
Yeah. Lucian.
But Lucian, if he's got the fancy footwork, can dodge the Malphite ult. But Veigar doesn't really have a way out of it.
Lucian could win this game. Or sorry, not win this game. Lucian could win this lane.
Yeah.
It all depends on whether the Zenith Blade hits and post 6 the Solar Flare hits.
And if Xerath can poke Leona enough to get her low enough that she can't afford to go in.
But to me, in this lane, the Xerath's poking the Caitlyn, not the Leona.
True.
Because if you're poking the Caitlyn, Leona has no reason to go in. And when she comes in, guess who's there? It's got to be the Malphite. So, if you poke up the Caitlyn as the Xerath, then it's harder for her to safely farm. A W flash auto Q from Lucian could just seal the deal and get a kill. Right? So if the Xerath can win this lane for Lucian, and Lucian can win this lane for himself as well.
Oh no, Big Bad Red switched back to barrier at the last second.
I see. It's cleanse from July.
And going Corki. That makes sense. I think that's a good idea because
it's a good idea.
Let him get out of the cage.
The other day, and again, I'm going to reference the game 1 of the season of Helix versus whoever they played. I kind of forget.
Spaceman Spiff.
Spaceman Spiff.
Great Covenant Hobbs reference.
The cleanse Orianna mid it fell behind. It didn't fall behind. It got ahead to start, and then it fell behind and drastically started falling because the lack of TV started to hurt them a lot, and that's a really big drawback of cleanse. And you're really only cleansing two things in this entire comp.
Xerath stun and Vagar stun.
If Vagar stun, like I understand what the Corki's thing is for, but you're playing Corki, just buy QSS. Yeah, I know it's a deviation from what you should be building on Corki, but if you're gonna play Corki into Vygar, you build a Hex Drinker probably first, I would think.
Yeah. And you're CC immune on the package in any case.
Yeah.
So
I don't agree with the cleanse.
It's useful, but I think it's probably overcautious considering that a lot of your threat is going to be like, yeah, you can cleanse your way out of the cage, but if Vi is ulting you, cleanse doesn't help.
And maybe we don't see the keystones yet. Maybe it's a glacial Vygar, and that could be something else he's cleansing.
But if you cleanse, but there's still a slow field that you're sitting on, even if.
Doesn't it give you movement speed afterwards?
I don't think so. I thought that was QSS.
I know QSS definitely gives you movement speed.
I think cleanse gives you tenacity.
Yeah, that would make sense. See, there's just a couple of keystones I think need to be buffed significantly.
I just never take cleanse because I'm a top laner and I'm always rolling forward.
Yeah.
The only other time I have anything different.
The only time I take cleanse is when is an ARAM or in Spellbook, and I'm 1v1ing somebody.
I was accounted for like a Lysandra or a Twisted Fate. It made because there's like
Yeah.
Lysandra has so much CC. Twisted Fate, there's like one key CC QS.
Yeah. But
with
what do you-
no ignites on the side of Dead Allegiant.
There's also no ignites again. You're right.
There is one on Leona, but not on Dead Allegiant.
Yeah.
Vagar's probably going to have to get a relatively early Morello in order to stop Mord from just lifestealing his way through a team fight. Because
I don't know. I don't know if that's Vygar's job. I feel like that's more Lucian's job.
But is Lucian? I mean, I guess Lucian could go Executioner.
I think he because Executioners is a cheaper deviation than Morello's is. Because we'll see in a second.
It is Glacial Vagar.
Glacial Vagar, so he has to go to the GLP into the Twin Shadow. So what could be a Morello's third item, but generally you want to go Death Cap for that AP. And
Press the attack and Comet on Lucian Xerath.
Sense. Probably ideal for the
Fleet Footwork on Kate. Aftershock on straightforward. Fleet Footwork on Corki. I think we are seeing another Unsealed Spellbook on Ornn. And Predator on Malphite.
Predator on Malphite, totally fine. It means it's AP almost 100% of the time.
The other thing would be Electrocute for more guaranteed bursts, but Predator gives you a lot of target access.
Spellbook Ornn into Mordekaiser is a big no-no for me. I love Spellbook so much. I think it's a great keystone. Underutilized, undervalued, needs a buff probably. But I still think that Grasp in every tank matchup is better.
See, I'm actually going to defend it, and I love Grasp. I will take Grasp at any possible opportunity. But the fact is that as Ornn, if you're standing around long enough to proc Ward, you're probably not winning the trade. And because you're going to be going Abyssal first, you don't have Cinder to keep permanent Grasp up. You could also have gone Aftershock.
I always go Kindle Gem, or not Kindle Gem.
All right, we have a double confused invade here.
No one's gonna find anybody. Everyone's gonna be.
It's gonna be ships that pass in the night. So the real question is, when the team fight starts in River, when they accidentally run into each other on the way back, who do we prefer?
Well, I would say if Mordekaiser starts E, then
has Tuba picked an ability yet? Tuba has not picked a spell yet. All right, they're gonna see them on the ward. All right, they're all bailing out.
Or bailing out, man.
But 15 gold to the Xerath, so GG guys. Ornn did
Free
start.
AP. Free AP. Damn. Free AP for Vygar. Big game changer there, boys.
Ornn did start with the free stopwatch. Both Ornn and Veigar did. For Veigar, makes inspiration, but
Stopwatch is never a bad rune, I don't think.
no, I don't think so. And I think for Mord, for Ornn, it could be pretty useful
Yeah.
in the level 6 all-in, trying to stall. Because if you can stopwatch the Q, because at level 6, Mord only has enough cooldown to Q once during the Death Realm if he used it before he sent you to the Death Realm. And so if you can stopwatch that, which is a lot of his damage at the level 6 all-in, then he's probably not going to be able to kill you.
Thoughts?
Leona's already half health. Leona's less than half health.
If I'm Xerath, I'm waiting for that Arachno Pulse again and just flash E-ing this Leona because she's dead. Oh,
I forces the heal.
I definitely would have flashed. That's a ward flash forward for me 100% of the time. Trade in the mid lane. Good
Ooh,
damage.
a lot of damage onto Gelati.
Free AP. Vi smites blue buff.
Malphite did his entire blue side clear. Vi did red to blue into a blue side clear. So Malph's gonna be ahead on gold, and they're both gonna find themselves top side. Dodge on the Zenith Blade.
Man.
Oh, he doesn't get the knock.
This Ornn is kind of running this lane right now. Xerath low on mana, he should auto something. Zenith Blade misses again. Oh, good trade for Sleepy Pineapple.
These are trades that he would be winning even harder if he had Grasp, so I'll give you that. I would have taken Grasp, but
Yeah.
I see reasons for it, particularly because he could take Exhaust.
Yeah, I agree. There is reason behind it. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just in tank matchups and on Ornn, I would generally speaking take Grasp for extended longevity.
Yeah. I take Grasp on tanks and melee matchups, Aftershock and range, unless I'm Chill or Mouth, and then I take Comet. Both mid laners are very low on mana, but Gelati having the life steal.
Oh, the Vi's here to defend his mid laner. Thunderclap comes forward. Vi maybe gets her pass.
Red buff on the Malphite.
Kind of strong. Really, just go in. Evolution.
Oh, this should be a kill? Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, a little bit of an int there.
Yeah. I suspect Bixby was counting on the Aftershock damage and didn't fall into tower.
Rixie doesn't kill the Xerath, but
Malph is now farming Vi's chicken. So Malph has
run forward.
one camp ahead.
Eye of Destruction doesn't miss.
Oh no!
The Caitlyn. Just auto. Xerath, auto. Oh! Runs around the trap.
Oh, but Malphite's... He's rock solid. He's here.
The Eye of Destruction misses and is just gonna auto the Xerath to death. The Thunderclap to finish it off. Oh, well, I feel like
They got a little...
gives first blood away, but
too ahead of themselves there.
I feel like the Caitlyn gets the better end of that bargain. They actually are even in farm and CS, so they're actually gonna come back with relatively even items. But the Malphite comes with 400 gold.
In fact, they have exactly the same. Chuba's got his blasting wand and boots. Malphite has his boots, so he's a mock predator, and Corky is starting on the Hexdrinker. Notably, Veigar has burned his teleport, so the teleport advantage is neutralized, and he only got an Amp Tome and a Dark Seal. So he's probably going to want to back.
I think he got some pods.
So yeah, he got popped. But he doesn't have the Amp Tome, or not the Amp Tome, the Lost Chapter. And so he's going to need to back again and won't have teleport at some point.
Full combo.
He's doing Dragon. Mal's topside doing Krugs. This should be
Free Dragon.
This should be cured by by Dead Allegiant. Vi very good at taking drag. That dragon is apparently
There's the cleanse from Gelati.
forced out by the Zera.
No, one of the two things we noted that the cleanse will be used for, and it's used, and that's a 3-minute cooldown, I believe.
And Bixby and Rixie aren't able to punish the fact that Xerath is hanging around in the river, and instead, you could have definitely tried to go in on the Leona there. Oh, we have a pause.
There's a pause. Somebody DC.
Prefer Riven Top's mouse appears.
Mouse messing up. Classic. Reported for toxic. Good banter. Good casual banter. We like that. But while we're here, we can talk about some things from just looking at the map.
Orange got his Negatron cloak. Both junglers have their tier 2 jungle item, but Vi hasn't yet fought and doesn't have the gold for any of the long swords for warriors. So Mouth, because of that kill, is definitely a little ahead on damage.
Yeah. I love Ornn. I don't feel like the Negatron corrupt. I'm not going to tell people how to play their lanes. I'm not going to tell people how to do what. Personally, I think you really should never start with a Negatron. I think you should start with Catalyst always, or Bomby Cinder. In this case, I would probably start Catalyst.
I'd normally start the Catalyst as well, but against Mord, the large chunk of magic resist that Negatron Cloak brings is sort of I won't say extraordinary, but it's more useful than normal because a lot of Mord's damage, yes, the Q bonks, but a lot of it is that
damage from the passive on his autos as well.
Yeah, but a lot of it's the constant percent damage out of Darkness Rise, and right now that is 2% max. So against Ornn, that's going to do
a lot,
about 20 damage, but with the amount of MR Ornn has, that's down to 10.
Nice.
So he's taking against targets that apply a lot of constant low percent damage. Flat resist, especially because Mord has no pen in items and only has 5% from his passive, is going to do a lot just trying to not die. It's also 720 gold, so if you're kind of stuck in that part where you have just enough gold, it'll do more for survivability than a Ruby Crystal Sapphire will.
Yeah. See, Enlightenment. So it's not as bad as I'm thinking, but it's useful. But I just want to look at some of one other keystone that has particularly caught my eye is the fleet footwork on the Caitlyn. Personally, I see this as an abnormal, the fleet footwork, because of the extended range. I think you should be probably taking the PTA for damage onto the Ornn a lot later on too, to get that bonus exposure damage. And just the Caitlyn extra damage from PTA is huge, especially when you're getting these full combos off like Rixie's been showing.
See, here's the interesting thing. I'm looking at Rixie's full set of runes. Rixie took Fleet Footwork, Triumph, Legend Bloodline, Coup de Grace, and then Taste of Blood and Ravenous. He's basically gone full in on Lifesteal out of rune.
He's gone full in on Lifesteal, and then people are trapped.
I'm kind of wondering...
But I haven't seen anybody get trapped yet.
No, I'm almost wondering if he intends to skip a lifesteal item and go full crit and then some kind of last for item, and just rely on the fleet footwork and the built-in lifesteal and spell vamp to carry him.
Now, another thing I'm going to point out, Xerath, bot lane, not atypical necessarily, but not common either, in all honesty. Good trade in the top lane.
Owie.
Coming down, the Predator goes off, flash and barrier use. The Xerath walks into the trap, unfortunate heal.
Oh, he doesn't get up.
Oh, Evolution has to get the trade kill. Oh, here comes the Ornal.
Did he not get the second knockout? Oh,
Oh, the trade. This is spicy in the top lane. Flash away. The Vi's coming in.
there we go.
Flash forward. They do get the kill in the top lane as a trade. The Vi needs to expend Flash though, so it's not the greatest trade, but they'll take it nonetheless.
2 kills go to Rixie.
Yeah, that's really big. The
2
Hex,
plates here.
the Hex Drinker comes in, so this Vigar is not going to be killing this court game room anytime soon, I don't think. Anyways, back to Xerath. For optimal farming of your spell thieves, you always want to try to land the Eye of Destruction first because of the slow, which almost more so guarantees your Comet hit, as well as your Q proc. And pure Prince Lightskin also takes a lot of damage there from Caitlyn. Pretty much full rotation, getting full rotation by the Caitlyn for about half his health. But Leona looks like to be roaming, and he seems to be unspotted from Nizami.
Leave the
Oh, he has ultimate? He does have Ace in the Hole. But
He doesn't have enough mana to cast.
oh, that's unfortunate. Or else this Xerath would be almost dead because the Lucian's there. But
Lucian almost certainly would have been able to body block that, and he has heal.
yeah, I don't think the heal would save him.
Oh, regen's just enough, and it's body blocked by Lucian.
Yeah. Gets an ult out, but it also chunks Lucian out a little bit. As Leona comes back to lane, they'll be able to push this under, and then maybe go for a roam.
Malice Predator is almost up again, and with the way Waves have been playing, I'd expect him to use it as
As soon as possible,
It's available.
Just scope bot or solo
Yeah.
kill I would think. Just to get pressure for Dragon.
Yep. Oh, wait.
No. Full rotation of Xerath abilities coming on.
But Malphite's burned the most cooldown. He's gonna ult.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fire dueling.
Damage goes to that.
Oh. Assault battery does nothing as he tries to get away. Doesn't work, but the bot lane of Rixie and Bixby Cutie actually loses a trade in the bot lane despite being at a massive HP disadvantage. And this gives priority over to the side of Washed Up Montrix.
Stormrazor for Caitlyn.
Stormrazor complete on the Caitlyn. It's a very strong item point at this point in the game for her to be a 10 minutes something.
Has Orm used any of his... He has not used any summoner swaps.
Yeah, honestly, you just want to get through those. So at a certain point, you kind of just want to use...
So you can get them faster.
Like Clarity, you're rarely going to use. So I would suggest just whenever you have the ability to, just burn Clarity.
Or you're kind of low, so, switch to a heal maybe.
Yeah. Like right now would be optimal to just heal or put barrier on to barrier a Q that you're going to take.
Tugo looks like he's looking to back, which makes sense. We've got a dragon coming up very shortly. Both top laners have TP. But does Ornn elect to back here?
Thank you. Full combo coming up from the Caitlyn and onto the Vi, and the Vi's just going to die. The allies, one another, the Lord. Oh, and there comes the Predator. Flash used, and that's the package. That's a lot of summoner. That's a summoner bone for Izanami when he really wasn't going to make out of that alive.
I think this is the strength that I saw on Washington when we played against them was they're very attentive to drag, timed objective.
Yeah.
The first time we played against them, Tuba would pretty much regularly back at about level 5, walk bot, take dragon, and then back to top lane. And so,
TP mid, and it's gonna go 1-for-1 with dragon so far. The soul is gonna be Cloud, and that is a little strong for the side of. That's a lot of strong.
I said, yeah, that definitely favors Washington one. Malphite. Leona ult's on a short cooldown anyway, more to ult is on a long cooldown.
That also benefits. It benefits both teams pretty well because it'll give more attempts for Ornn to engage.
Xerath flashes the ult out of Malphite.
Yep. It'll give Vigar more one-shot opportunity.
Oh, huge pick on the Caitlyn. That's a big
That's a big shutdown, but do you really want that going onto the Vi? The Solar Flare lands to slow him down. And there comes...
Triumph? Doesn't have it, doesn't need it. Oh, the heal!
Oh, the Flash Thunderclap move. Oh,
Vigar all cleaned up.
Vigar is going to clean up. That's a 3-for-nothing kill.
Ah,
That
there's
one's gonna come
good
out.
stopwatch at top lane.
Good stopwatch. What's he gonna do? Unstoppable gets the passive prop. Does he just get a rundown? No, he doesn't. I just realized I have the Nivea stat blocked up and not Vi. On a VI champion today.
Corn has switched to barrier.
That would have been more ideal these days, just that. Don't know. Oh,
Oh, the ult too.
the ult's
late.
oh, yeah.
Oh, good flash Q from Vi. Doesn't have the ult.
Two right to the right of the arcane.
Not quite enough damage with the
Hex Trigger keeps him alive. The Hex Trigger coming in super clutch, and that's why.
And the Merc Treads.
Oh,
Corky didn't go for damage with the Merc Treads.
that's super defensive, but it pays off.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no, that's a Predator, and that's a very dead Vigar, and that's a one shot. Something to know, Caitlyn didn't actually die in that last team fight, I don't think.
She died in the big team fight spot.
She was 3-1 before.
Kill someone? Who'd she kill?
Lucian, I think?
Maybe.
Full rotation of abilities from the Xerath on Caitlyn, but the lifesteal is actually huge right now. Maybe these lifesteal runes are working in her favor more than we thought they would. Assault battery onto the mid lane on the Corki block breaker also used. Full combo coming out. Jolotti's just trying to get this turret. Next, the GLP misses. Does the Vault Breaker come up in time? Jolotti doesn't dodge it. And the Ornn looks like he's gonna die again in the top lane.
Yeah, there's flow coming out from board.
He's just gonna walk. Oh, he tried. Oh, trade in the bot lane.
Oh, not quite.
No,
Lucian's trying to run and gun. But
So
I think Xerath goes down first and the Triumph proc heals Caitlyn. Plus the Caitlyn.
I think so. Wow, that's super close, and this turret's gonna go down. That'll be actually second turret of the game because Jolotti got that in trade for his kill. So in that total, that's worth. But this Caitlyn's now 5-1. The solution isn't able to assassinate her, and this game just seems to be following a very similar trend to what happened last time.
Rixie and Bixby QT have definitely shown to be a really dangerous bot. Like both of these games, they've shown up, and they're bringing a lot of damage. We have two fights in the top lane. Vi barely escapes. Malphite's already used his ult.
Something to note.
But package it. Double bout.
Vault Breaker to get away.
Maybe not quite enough damage. It does.
The shield comes through. The Ornn is
Oh, he misses the knockup. And through the Hex Trigger. He's not gonna do that.
He's not gonna get through that. Right to the arcane, maybe? Not enough shots of it yet. Now this is gonna be a top turret take.
Wait, Caitlyn's dead. What two?
Vigar?
Vagar, I think.
I think full rotation.
His ult's not on cooldown. Not a very long cooldown.
Ooh. Predator coming through. Oh, good stopwatch from Izanami. Malphite could come through and just flash. The Q takes the Vigar solo.
Oh, he's probably gonna die for this, but he does claim the 80 dodges.
Maybe, you know.
Getting the crits.
He's getting the crits.
He doesn't have the damage, I don't think, at this point. Yeah. Oh no, she hits him. Ah, gives him the bop. He just waltzes out. The Vi is soloing Dragon. Mayor of Huevos is dead. Kate's on her way to check, but I think she will not be in time. Going for the aftershock proc. But Vi does take the Cloud Drag.
Close but no cigar.
I'm gonna call that worth. Vi didn't have a bounty. You get a Cloud Drag for yourself. You've got champions who really benefit from ult CDR, and you really don't want Mort to have an air soul, because not only does it take his long cooldown ult and put it on a reasonable cooldown, but that 50% movement speed lasts almost the entire duration of Death Route. And it gives Mort tremendous ability. Alright, well, I guess Huevos is just gonna make out like a bandit. A little League Police, I'd like to report a robbery.
Yeah, that's mega unfortunate.
That's just a field grab, man. Oh, but Gelati goes down. Crab has its final revenge.
Light skin depends more now.
Iona's stunned on the Veigar Achilles.
That's the aftershock proc. The death realm onto the Veigar
Mort's getting kited pretty effectively.
is gonna
Go down.
Lives barely. So the Veigar Arachnopulse lands. Oh, I've only said Arachnopulse. I think it's Arcanopulse.
It's Arcano Pulse, yeah.
He's not a spider, ladies and gentlemen. He is not a spider.
I like how his stun is just shocking orb.
Bro, that's like Arcanopulse, Eye of Destruction, Right of the Arcane, shocking orb.
Alawi is the same as that. Like her passive, Prophet of an Elder God, W's Harsh Lesson, Test of Spirit, Leap of Faith, all very, priestess sounding abilities. Q,
Slam.
Dash.
Oh, is slam? What is slam?
Slam is the term for a tentacle attack. They didn't originally have it, but in the passive it says tentacles slam at targets. It's just a term for them attacking.
Oh, I definitely thought that's what the Q was called.
No, it's tentacle smash. Smash and a slam, you would think, would be the same, but true scholars realize that there is a subtle difference between them. This Veigar is going to find a not so subtle difference between him and this ward, if he knows it. Malphite's hanging around. Alright. Let's look at itemization. Looks like they're just farming up Veigar. He's already got a need list, so he may be going for Death Caps second.
That looks like it could be a Fnatic Death Brush.
Orin, man, you gotta run. You gotta get out of there.
You'll be.
He is not gonna be fine.
No. Sleepy. Oh, maybe? Force the heal. That's an double grasp. Oh.
The damage out of the Malphite is just insane. He's 7-2 now. He's got 33 flat pens, so he's ignoring most of the range champs MR.
Ooh.
Basically, everybody on the bottom side of Dead Legion to green is taking close to true damage from the air goes.
Or like everyone not Orin.
Yeah. Vi's got a little bit of MR.
Honest to God, the game could end here.
They're gonna get one more charge out of this. It should be easy for them to kill the Rift Herald after that give. They don't quite get the turret. But that is the most valuable inhibitor to take, because the farthest from Baron, and Baron has a spawn.
Like honestly, you could. What I would do here, full reset, clear vision on words, send TTU Phoenix. Not you're not playing. Tuba. Send Tuba bot, end the game.
Yeah.
That's the play. Maybe
Well, Dragon's coming up. You probably want to go for the Dragon.
Yeah, maybe that too, and maybe wait for Corky package.
A lot of pings coming out around the Dragon. Both teams want to take that objective.
But the entire red side of TDA,
TDA, yes.
TDA
Completely warded.
is completely warded.
Vi's just walked over 2 wards just to enter the jungle.
Yeah.
However, they pick off Malphite without the smite and without that damage and
The
initiation.
crit kills the Malphite just barely. So, how much crit does he got? Is that RNG? Is that RNG?
That's 75.
Okay, never mind. Less RNG.
Vi's in the death realm, but she's got Sterox. She can probably survive long enough for more to get out. And kaboom!
He's dead.
Yeah, this should go. And Dead Allegiance are down, but after that team fight, they're only down by 3,500 gold.
Yeah.
When you've got the hyper-scaling Vagar on your team, that's very surmountable.
This, and with the Ornn, the more Ornn items that come in, it means the less gold that actually means. In reality, let's put this in perspective, the Infernal Mask buffs give you 1,000 gold worth of
I think it's
stats.
even a little more than 1,000. I think it's like
It's a little bit. It's a little bit more. So for argument's sake, they're only down 2.
Yeah, and once they get how much gold is Vagar? Vagar is close to another Needless, but doesn't have it. He's still a little ways off from his
He's
death.
skipping the Twin Shadows.
I think I agree with that here.
I think so. It makes sense.
Yeah, the Twin Shadows are a great utility, but
When you're
you
behind
need. Uh-oh.
Arcana.
Uh-oh. Oh no, he missed. Oh, he misses the relentless pursuit over the wall.
That I thought that was gonna go so south when Bixby Kitty just kind of just missed the static Xerath with his ulti.
And that's what we saw in the game I cast last night. Is a team was forced to walk into an unwarded bush around him against a Malphite jungle, and their squishy exploded.
What division?
It was Demacian. It was Mundalicious versus Aggressive. Excuse me.
Well, this game is swiftly shifted back again into the favor of washed up one tricks. And Vi, despite farming a lot, this game is behind in gold, behind in farm.
Some of that is going to be in the powers. Malphite obviously has kills.
This is true.
Malphite's sitting on 2,000 gold. He's
Probably just finish that decap or that spellbinders. Depends on what he's building.
Yeah, he's gonna need, I think, another 300 or 400 gold to finish off the death cap. He doesn't have the spot.
Honestly, I say he goes spellbinders.
With Predator more upfront first.
Yes. Just get 100 stacks and you will one-shot somebody. I promise.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Flash out of the Vagar. He's probably at the... Yeah,
I think he's dead.
can't run far enough.
That is a pick onto Izanami. That is most of your wave clear.
Both of the ADCs are at 75% crit, but this is the part of the game where Lucian runs into issues because it's much safer and easier for Kate to apply her crits. He's got to get more things to do it. I'm curious how much AP Mort is getting out of. He has 241 AP.
That 10% of that is Vigar.
Well, he has 10% of Vagar, so the question is how much is he actually?
So,
He's about 40.
Call of the Forge God coming through. Oh my day.
Malphite's gonna get caught and explode.
He's gonna get caught and explode, but he did a lot of damage before that. They're gonna be able to push the Assault.
Oh, Kate goes down to the Vagar ult, which tracks her even through the flash.
Wow.
And Dead Allegiance successfully hold their base. They lose one inhibitor, but that could have been a game-ending push. And the bot turret actually has more HP than it did after the Herald did.
Yeah. So TDA is scaling, and that's the Molten Edge coming in for the Lucian as well. And what is
that's the death.
that's the Death Crown. That's
Yeah,
the
that
Death
item is
Crown.
giving 380 ability power.
Okay.
Vagar's at 657.
I think currently the items are giving about 2,500 gold.
More than that, Death Crown's like 1,100.
Is it?
Infernal Mask is over. Infernal Mask and Death Crown are both over 1,000 gold, and Molten Edge is right at about 1,000.
So 3K.
Yeah,
Might as well say
maybe 3.5.
might as well say they're back to 2K gold down.
Yeah,
And with Cloud coming up, if this Cloud Soul comes up,
Veigar ult does 1500 damage maximum.
Oh,
Oh, he doesn't get the second half up.
call the Forge God whiffs. That's a big knockout, but Vi's now kind of just sitting in there. But the calling
There, Huevos is going to go down.
Air Bravos is going to go down. The right of the Arcane now, she does so much work there. Flash forward from Tuba onto Izanagi in the Death Realm.
Heal. Trying to body block.
He gets away. Oh,
Primordial Burst finishes him.
I think they kill him. Just E forward, relentless pursuit. Resets.
That's an ace.
That's an ace.
They need to send Xerath back, and Lucian. Does he have enough lifesteal? I think he has enough lifesteal. Yeah, he can solo.
He does. He can solo it. This is the diamond mechanics, ladies and gentlemen, being put to work.
Spam all of your abilities for double taps.
Yes. Very much so.
So that is Cloud Soul.
They do lose a turret. Do they lose two? I don't think so. It'll be close.
Oh, gotta stop the super. Everyone fight the super.
Oh. And they've done it.
How long until their inhibs are back up? This must be very soon. All right, it looks like 2.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes for the bot in. I think the mid inhib may be about to respond.
This game could turn around.
Orange just got his second upgrade as well, Forge Fire Cape. So that's giving him about another 1,000 gold.
So
And
golden
lose pulse on the Xerath. So they're actually
even.
basically, yeah.
And they're winning fights too. Honestly, I think these fights come down to Mayor of Huevos if he gets these ultis.
If flash, or if it's just not on point, or worse, if he gets hit by a CC chain and dies, because this is not a tanky Malphite. He has 1,960 calories. He's got a good amount of armor from his passive, but he has 47 base MR.
Now, what item does the Vi grab to get her Ornite upgrade? Do you think Black Cleaver? Do you think Triforce?
I'd say I would go Triforce. Vi really wants the attack speed and the Sheen proc. Cleaver doesn't give you mana or attack speed. It used to be a more viable option when you wanted tanky, but Vi largely sticks to Trevor's now.
Is there any other item that she could be looking at? Call the Forge Gods.
Sunfire Cape. Orange's probably going to go down, but Mayor Wavels does not get his ult off.
Assault battery onto the back line. Lucian trying to do the damage, but kind of gets just zoned off.
Tuba's just going to get kited. He has no, he's just stalling time with that point.
Just stalling.
Oh, Veigar! Oh, he goes down!
Oh!
And his ult didn't go off either.
There's two waves of there's two super minion waves. They're
just going to end the game. They at least have to turn the top 10 on.
They have to back.
Do washed up one tricks go for Baron? I think they do. They're going to be so busy trying to defend that they won't be able to contest it.
The mid lane inhibitor is back up.
They've got to make sure they clear out that wave.
And just like that.
Veigar getting killed on top of there was really brutal. Because I could tell he was looking for an opportunity to hit someone with a combo and drop the ult on them. But
so aggressive unnecessarily, I feel like.
I think he was probably riding that high after surviving board, like, yeah, Malphite's dead, we can win this. He steps up a little too far.
And there's the Merc from Caitlyn. The package is up from Corky, if I heard that correctly.
Yeah, I think he's waiting for an item. He's just picked that up.
The cloak, I believe.
Yeah, probably. Maybe wards.
Maybe wards. Xerath bought a stopwatch. The Luden's Echo now in for the... what's...
Luden's Pulse.
Pulse. Luden's Pulse now in.
Oh no!
The package ran away from, but the Lucian dies. That is a lot of their damage. The Solar Flare is flashed away from. The Predator comes out, but there's no ulti for Mayor of Huevos to come through.
He used it on Lucian when Lucian walked into the bush there. All right, Ornal.
There's a frog too. Oh, there's
Kayla's getting bouncy castled, but she flashes over the wall. Vi is forced to flash out.
the Knight's Vow putting in a lot of work right now. The teleport from Tuba into the mid lane. They take down the inhibitor. They're going to walk down to the bot lane inhibitor and double inhib them yet again.
A lot of damage coming out.
Malphite Q's doing significant amounts of damage. The death
Vi's gonna get picked off by the combo.
This could be the game-ending fight.
They're all trying. Okay, they finish off the Mordekaiser, but Caitlyn's got the damage. She takes out the Ornn.
Oh, flash in. The Lucian coming in now. Is this the moment?
Lucian Penta?
Penta.
Oh no!
No, it gets denied. That's so unfortunate.
And now it is Zeroth versus the world.
Can he hold 2 waves of supers on super low HP?
15 seconds until Vi, but I don't know if he can even afford to walk back.
I don't think he
The
can.
base.
Really. The
10
top
seconds.
is going down. That is an elixir of iron purchased.
Elder Drag's up in 30.
That's
I've seen Elders and
that is huge for either team.
yeah. Now it would still be primarily defensive, I think, for Dead Allegiance because their base is so exposed. But if they do get it, they could have one or two people.
Tuba used his TP last fight, so they can't even backdoor really without them.
Yeah. But Corki could jump the wall and try to finish off the Nexus.
This is true.
So
No one's 16 or 18 yet, surprisingly. But there's the
Wasted
Elder.
Potential are already on the Elder Drag. Blast comes down. They should have the control objective.
Right,
Yeah,
has
keyboard
to-
control.
From a level down, has to go in. Call the Forge God. Malphite does claim it. Maya Huevos is super low. Zona's Hourglass coming out though. The Rite of the Arcane misses, and the Mayor Huevos lives another day. Lucian's gonna take this red buff. He's doing a lot of damage with these crits.
And that's a very good play from the Mord because the Elder Drag doesn't go to the death realm with you. If you're contesting an objective and your Mordekaiser, always hold the enemy jungler because then you can't smite it. And you gotta trust that your team can win the fight, but Mord, he was able to win the fight. His team's secure strength.
Flash one from Mordekaiser lands on the Lucian, and he's just dead. But Tuba gets the
They're
lead.
trying to stop Veigar from getting too low.
The Zonias is working in their favor. Triple kill. Oh no.
Yep,
That-
it's so easy for K to apply that Elder. I don't think Orange, yeah.
I that might be the game.
That should be game. It'll only take one or two autos here for him to get low enough. QSS. And one more auto. Yep. And that is game 2.
That is game 2. A very good contested fight.
I
from Dead Allegiance.
liked what I saw out of Dead Allegiance a lot more in game 2.
Yeah, they should
They
have
took
their head held high after that.
definitely. They took what was a really bad start in game 1 where it kind of snowballed out of control. But in game 2, they consistently fought back from deficits, making use of their scaling on the Veigar, the Ornn item, to really turn around fights. And it was just a shame that because of the inhibs that they were down, they weren't able to convert a lot of those fights into objectives except for drag.
And you
They
can
weren't able to take enough towers, but if they had the inhibs up, they could have really gotten that gold and experience that's sitting out there on the map, and then use that to slingshot everyone else ahead and start taking fights from.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that this Caitlyn just they both ADs pretty much hit full build, but Lucian later on in the game just doesn't have the range to protect himself. Even though he has a lot of kiting of it potential, he just doesn't have that same range that Caitlyn does. Even with the RFC, it's so hard for him to put out the consistent damage without putting himself in consistent position of danger, whether it be just getting burst down by Gelati, but getting to like 2 or 3 autoed by the Caitlyn,
And I think this
by
game
Malphite.
shows one reason why Kate's in such high demand. And it's not just for her lane dominance, it's because people aren't, the meta is not really in favor of like high peel. It's not like Maokai, Poppy, Braum, Lulu protecting Kog'Maw. You have a lot of like hard engage, divers, juggernauts, initiation tank, like Malphite, even though this one P, like Ornn. And so when your backline's going to be left alone, characters like Corki and Caitlyn that can self peel are definitely an advantage because you don't have to worry about that peel that you don't have.
Yeah. All right.
Here's what Cuba was going to go for with his final item with the Negatron Cloak, because that's either Abyssal, which he doesn't need the mana for, or Bone Plate maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Wits End?
Wits End, possibly.
Does it even build it to Wits End anymore?
It does. It's
Okay, build it.
I
Do
believe,
we
yeah,
have a? Do we have an initiation? Do we have an interview?
we can if we want. If we want, yeah, we can pull someone.
I'll message.
Who would you give player of the game to? Or player of the series, I guess.
Well, player of the game for game 1, I think, was Tuba.
Yeah, so
It was basically the iconic Juggernaut. Game 2, I think, is probably Rixie or Mayor of Win. Huevos had really good ults, but later on he tended to get caught a little more. And that just happened when you're AP Malphite. You can't really tank.
I would personally say Rixie in game 2 because Mayor of Huevos only got one drag. Which is kind of when they're that far ahead as a jungler, you really shouldn't be losing junglers in my eyes. They did get Elder, don't get me wrong, but you know, it's kind of shaky that even happened. It was really contested at the end. If I was to give somebody player of the game from the losing team, TDA, I'd probably have to say Prince Lightskin, almost getting a penta there.
Yeah.
Making something out of nothing. Played a really
I'd give Izanami real props. Like, he was getting mortaled basically every game, basically every fight, and his kiting, he did die sometimes, but his kiting was very effective. Good use of slow field, good use of the cage, try to stall the Death Realm out, and then his team was usually able to finish off Mord once the Death Realm came out.
Yeah. Anyways, we might be getting an interview. Phoenix, you on that or?
Sorry, what's that? Oh, I can move up to post game interview.
I mean, like we all go, but
yeah. Do they not have someone they want to send for an interview? Yeah, I messaged Tuba, but I think Tuba. I think they're playing Teamfight Tactics now.
Already?
Yeah, he's in queue.
What the heck? Supersonic speed out here.
All right, the disrespect from Tuba is something that we as casters need to talk
about. Tuba doesn't get player of the game 1.
No.
It goes to
trying for the gold star Swain. Took that from me. We got Huevos.
We got one.
All right, we have Mayor of Huevos, Jungler 4, Washed Up One Tricks joins for an interview. Congratulations on your victory.
How's it going? I have to turn all of you down because my eardrum just exploded.
It's fair. It's fair.
What's up?
So you play, let's see, we got Malphite in game 2. That was banned in game 1.
Yeah, I mostly play that just to piss off Gelati. He absolutely hates AP Malphite, but it works every time.
As do I, and I despise the fact it works. I agree with Gelati. Favorite person. Getting my all-star vote for mid lane.
There we go.
Anyways. So we usually ask people, and I have not had a chance to really get to know some of your team's players, I feel like, but who's the shot caller on Washed Up One? How do you guys, are you calling objectives? Does Tuba make calls when you all ignore them?
It's a mixed bag. A lot of the objectives and calls come from Gelati and myself. Yeah.
All right, now what's like when everybody knows about Tuba's Rumble,
Mm-hmm.
but what do you think the real sleeper pick on your team is that should be getting banned out every game that seems to be working fairly well for you guys?
Um, I mean, as we saw, the Mordekaiser was just dominating pretty much both games. Even in the second game, where he wasn't really like a lane dominant, it was just taking someone out of the fight every game that could,
Yeah,
you know, that swings the fight.
yeah, I agree.
But also, you can't let Tuba have Rumble because games just end.
Yeah, I've seen absolute fiestas against his Rumble. They don't; those games don't end. They end very fast.
Yep.
And would it? No one changed their bans from game one to game two, which really interested me. You
Well, they
guys,
changed the card.
They
did ban
banned
the cards.
they didn't ban Nocturne in game
Yeah,
2.
yeah. They didn't get. So my apologies. 5 of the 6 bans stayed the same. My big surprise is that they left the Caitlyn Leona open.
We
Seeming,
were expecting them to first pick Caitlyn and they didn't, and so we obviously just snatched it right up.
yeah. Caitlyn to me is the strongest AD currently, and then Lucian slash Zaya. So I don't understand. To me, I'd like to get some analysis on from the other team at some point. Maybe I'll DM them on why
Yeah, I
they
mean,
picked
it definitely
Lucian.
seemed like they were really favoring the flex pick Ornn. I guess that must have been something integral to their strategy.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt about the mid lane Orin. It the concept was there. I'll
It
give it
would
to
have
it.
been good if it's not an absolute free lane for Karthus.
Yeah, it was. I don't feel like Orin early first pick is necessarily a fantastic blind pick, especially when you've randomly
Um,
know
so if you
about.
look at Gelati's match history, he's played an absolute like he's almost like Ornn one tricked for the past like week and a half, or at least in the games I've been playing with him. So they may have thought it was a takeaway.
Oh, that's interesting. That's the quick analysis from the teammates. I like that. But yeah, honestly, really good game. Both games. Um,
I'm curious for the other pick you changed between them, which was the Corki. Obviously, the Karthus was banned. Was that one where Gelati was just like, "Hey guys, I'm playing Corki"? Because I've
Pretty
seen
much.
it.
We get to the fourth pick and he's like 10 seconds left. You know what? I'm gonna play Corky.
I like that. I like the
Your
mid lane.
enemies can't know what you're up to if you don't know what you're up
Yeah.
to.
Exactly.
If no one plans draft, who's drafting, right? But yeah, you guys seem to be on par of what from where you guys were last season. You guys seem to be in a very good spot at the beginning of the season after week one. You guys seem to be really strong, and I'm excited to see how you guys go up against or match up against some of the other teams in the league, especially Helix. Maybe get some revenge from us last year. Who knows? Maybe on Phoenix. Are you on a team in Ionia this year?
Yeah, I'm the captain of Tempest.
Okay, then Tempest as well. I
So
feel
here's
like
a question: is Tuba gonna play set once he's allowed in the league?
oh,
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
are you gonna play?
All right, I'm first picking set in our match. Let's do this.
Oh,
I've put some games on set. I'm not a big fan of him in the jungle per se. I mean, he works, but you need lanes that set him up more than you do if he's just a solo
thank you,
laner.
thank you, thank you. Someone finally. Oh, someone
Yeah, I
agreed.
think his jungle's okay.
His
I think
clear
he,
is good. His gank requires more setup than, or just bad opponents.
Yes.
I think he needs a little bit maybe of like some quality of life buffs in top, but I think he's pretty solid in top. His wishes do this a little better, or the hitbox on wider. But you get the punch stuff and then suplex stuff. So I don't know. Can we really change perfection?
He feels like Vi, but
Yeah.
without a gap closer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. To me, he feels like Udyr,
I can see that.
and then with
Mhm.
Vialt.
Udyr, who doesn't have a movement speed increase.
Yes. It's to me they're very similar, except Set is 11D7 times better.
I don't know, man. People sleep on top lane Udyr. There's so many junglers. If you just take them top, they just people. Udyr, Nocturne.
Trust me, I'm a Warwick top player. Oh my god. Ridiculous.
Man.
Anyways, good game for
It
me.
is, yeah, it is very late, so we will let you go.
All
Yeah.
right.
We will not hold you up anymore. Congratulations on your victory, and we look forward to seeing more of you. It's your match.
Can't wait to face off against you guys.
Thank you. You guys have a
Catch
good
you
night.
later.
See ya.